Hello everybody, Gwendolyn is back, and today I will do a video of my top 11 favorite Wings of Fire books. This does not include the winglets or the graphic novel, because then that would be a whole different story. But today I'm going to do my top 11, that does include Legends Darkstalker, because I feel like it's involved in the series enough to be part of this debate. And there will be separate videos on my favorite tribes, from favorite to least favorite, which will be very hard to choose, and I'll probably make a separate video later on about it, and I will also do a video on the covers from my favorite cover to my least favorite, which will also be very hard because all these covers are just amazing and beautiful to look at. So let's start, shall we? So, what's the first book that we're going to start off with? 11th favorite is book 4. I have my reasons for why it's The Dark Secret. I feel like I found this book very depressing, and I love all of the protagonists, and I loved reading Starflight's story, but it didn't feel very fun and happy and thrilling. Like, the newer books are a little bit more uplifting. This book was really depressing, and we also find out in this book that the Dragonite Prophecy was fake, and everybody gets really upset, especially Glory. Sunny just gets, no, I'd say Sunny, she got really upset, and Glory wanted to kill Marosier. Tsunami and Clay were upset. Starflight just wanted to protect his friends, like Clay does oftentimes, and it was just, I found this book really hard to enjoy, and, like, there was the volcano, and, like, their island exploded, and it was just not very comfortable to read. I would rather read some other book, and, this book I found hard to enjoy, although it was pretty good. All the books in the series are awesome, but I define this my least favorite, unfortunately. But, the protagonist is awesome. If there's any pluses I give on this, it's the characters and the protagonists. There's some characters who die, like, the Nightwing Queen Battlewinter actually dies, and so does Marosier and Viper, or it's believed. It's unknown if Marosier is alive or dead. Tui hinted that he could still be alive, but he's most likely dead because he's never been seen again, and there's this scene in book 7 that shows this huge dead body of a Nightwing, and chances of Marosier surviving is very low, because, it didn't say if he died, but he probably did die, 90%. So, that's book 4. My 10th favorite is Winter Turning. Winter Turning, I'm sorry. I love this character. He's actually my 3rd favorite character, and I will have to do my favorite characters for sure. Top 20, I'll do my top 20. And, spoiler alert for future upcoming videos, but Winter is my 3rd favorite character of all time. And I love this story in this book, and I loved part 1 when they're in the Rainforest Kingdom with Glory and such, but I just feel like their adventure to find Hailstorm wasn't as epic. It was really awesome, but I have my reasons. And part 2 is also pretty cool with Foe Slayer and Icewing World in the rankings, but I did not expect to see that I would be disappointed with this, but it was not one of my favorites. I like books with adventure, or it depends what the protagonist it is. From this one, it's the adventure. Mostly, it's the adventure. I honestly do not care what the protagonist is, but, the adventure really affected me with my views or thoughts with this book. I loved how Hailstorm was a Skywing for 2 years, and it was just really unexpected, but he's the prince of the Ice Wings and stuff. I don't know, but this was just very unexpected, but it was also really cool to read. So that's book 7. And number 9, Escaping Peril. Now, a lot of people probably love this book for fans who are Peril fans, or probably had this book as one of their favorites. Now, I love this book, but I did not expect it to be on Peril's point of view. It was just so unexpected, because we probably thought it would be like Turtle's or Kibley's point of view. Maybe, well, Kinkajou is in a coma. Or any of the other Jade Winglet's point of views. Well, Moon and Winters was already done, and then Umber, it left, and Carnelian's dead, so I think Tweety Sutherland wanted a Skywing protagonist, and the Skywing protagonist has clearly been Peril, and this was unexpected because she was back at Jade Mountain. She wasn't really involved with, like, the prophecy or anything. Like, she wasn't involved in the adventures much, although she was a little bit in the end of this book and a little bit in the middle. She was a tiny bit involved, not as much as the rest of the Jade Winglet, though, although Peril was the replacement for Carnelian, so she is currently in the Jade Winglet, and I don't know, it's like there was the Scroll, the Talesman, but I just found some of the other books more entertaining compared to this. I mean, the end of this book was mind-blowing, but I just found other books better. But this was a thumbs up. I absolutely loved this, Escaping Peril. Book number 8 is Moon Rising, book 6. Now, I loved Moon's story. I love Moon, the protagonist. She's my, I don't want to say it, but she's definitely one of my top 10 favorite characters. I won't say which place, but she's definitely one of my top 10. No doubt about it. She's just so cool and cute. I love Moon. Moon is just, I don't know, her story was awesome. She changed a little bit from hiding, like, she used to be the scared dragon who was afraid to use her powers. Then she revealed herself in front of her friends, and it was really scary and sad for her at first. But then her friends started getting used to it. Winter took some time, although he wasn't told till book 7. Carnelian died. I'm not sure if Umber found out. I'm pretty sure he did. Kibley, and everybody else in the Jade Winglet obviously knows. Like Kinkajou, Turtle, Kibley. Turtle got over it quickly. Like, he understood, but he is an animist, so he completely understands how it feels. So he wasn't as taken over so easily, I would say, or affected as easily as Kibley and Kinkajou were. Winter wasn't told, although he did get upset, like, I thought you were different. Clearly, I was wrong, and stuff like that. Like, he was really rude in book 6, but he had his reasons. There was still a lot of adventure in this, but it was just in Jade Mountain, and there was some sad scenes in this book. But I loved it a lot, and that's why it's my 8th favorite. I might change the place for the book 6, because I still think it was awesome, but I don't know, I feel like there are better ones. Then number 6 is The Lost Heir. The Lost Heir was awesome. It's just, I don't know, the conclusion to this book was a little sad, like with the Skywing the Sea Wing Summer Palace getting destroyed, but they obviously have a palace on land, and then they've got to have a palace in the sea because they're Sea Wings. And I don't know, I just found this book, like, a little hard to adapt to, because Tsunami found herself, like, she didn't get used to the ocean as much as she thought. Like, she was faster flying in the air than swimming. It kind of, like, was scraped against her gills when she breathed underwater, and she just found it really hard to get used to the underwater world. But with some help with Riptide, a little bit with Whirlpool, and with her mother and everything, she's gotten used to this world, and I think she's adapted a little bit to it, but I don't feel like she's been in this world long enough to be, like, a true Sea Wing citizen. But she's different. She was raised differently, so only if Webbs was a little bit more. Like, he wasn't mean, he just didn't do anything about it, and he didn't do much for Tsunami. But Queen Coral didn't kill Webbs, because if Tsunami wasn't taken by Webbs, Tsunami would be dead, because of the assassin that's been killing these sea wing eggs for years. And it has to be a sea wing because no other dragon can go underwater that deep unless it's an animus or an enchanted dragon caused by an animus or whatever. But there are very few dragons in this world. There were more animus dragons in the past, but the new current animus dragons, I would consider Darkstalker because he's been in the timeline stuff. Obviously, Turtle. Who else? I feel like there's somebody else. Oh yeah, Jerboa too. So there aren't very many animus dragons currently, but I want to consider Anemone because she was enchanted to be an animus. There were definitely more animus dragons in the past, like Phantom, Albatross, Prince Arctic, Queen Glacier. Oh yeah, there's also Stone Mover, but I'd still say there are more animus dragons in the past than there currently is, but there's still animus dragons, and animus dragons are very legendary and rare and awesome in this world. And you find out some like secrets with the sea wings, and this like Albatross is mentioned. And this book was awesome. Recommend it. It's just, I just found it not as fascinating as some of the others. Book 6 is The Dragonet Prophecy. I found this book such a classic because it was the first book and an introduction into this world, and it was awesome. So that's why I give it number 6, but the reason why it's a 6 is because I just feel like there was a little too much violence in this book, and I just found it a little bit sad. So that's my reason for that. And I love Clay. He's my favorite Dragon of Destiny. Yes, he can be a little bit annoying, but he almost died in book 5. And it's just like, I don't know. And you get to see Burn in this book, and like, you get to see the characters. And it was just a really good story overall. It's just, I wish some of the characters didn't die. If some of them didn't die, or if there was just a little bit more of a happier, thrilling adventure, it would definitely be better, and it's such a classic. And it was an awesome book, and I really enjoyed reading it. It's just, I wish it wasn't so sad and depressing, like in the epilogue and the prologue, and how some of the dragons could have lived, but they died. But it's a war, so it's going to be a little bit different, but I still loved the awesome classic first book, The Dragonet Prophecy, with Clay's point of view. And he's the only Mudwing protagonist, like, come on. He's the only Mudwing protagonist. I'm not complaining about protagonists for the Ice Wings and the Sky Wings because they're more recent. We haven't had a Mudwing or Rainwing protagonist for quite some time. And then, number 5 is The Legends. Now, I love this book with, like, Albatross and Prince Arctic and everything, but I also found this book really depressing and sad. And because it's kind of revealed about what happens in this legendary story, this legendary tale from book 6, and it's kind of already said, so it has to happen. And it's one of the thickest books in the series. The thickest is Darkness of Dragons, the newest book. And this book is one of the thickest. It's, how many pages is it? Isn't it like 365? Yeah, there's 365 pages. No, I was wrong. 366 pages in this Legends book. It's just, I don't know, it's not too much shorter compared to Darkness of Dragons, like 20 pages shorter. But this book was I found it a little too depressing. Darkstalker felt more evil in this time than he did currently or in the second arc, although he was a little bit rude for sure in the second arc, but he has his reasons, and I don't blame him. But I'm allied with the Jade Mountain, or the Jade Winglet. I love the Jade Winglet. I would love to be in that winglet. It would be awesome. But it makes sense for it to be the Jade Winglet because it's the Jade Mountain Prophecy. But Darkstalker was still awesome. Like, I loved his hatching. Foe Slayer, Prince Arctic was just, like, so evil and stuff. Number 4 is book 3. Book 3, for sure. I absolutely enjoyed book 3. One of my favorite scenes is when